Three homages. Buddham saranam gacchami. Dhammam saranam gacchami. Sangham saranam gacchami.
Good morning and welcome to you all present and at home. We welcome you. So happy to see you all here this morning. A special welcome for those visiting RBC for the first time, and thanks to you at home for tuning in and sharing this precious time together. We begin with our Shoshinge chant and incense offering. For those of you who are new, the Shoshinge is located in the seat back pocket in front of you, and it looks like this. And you open it from the back, and you chant it from the right-hand columns vertically down, going right to left. If you chant it the other way, how we read it in English, you'll be completely confused. So it's okay. Good if you can just sit and feel the good vibrations of the chant. You could read the English translation if you'd like. Chanting is a core practice of our tradition, and Shinran Shonin, our founder, that monk at the top, big picture on the founder's wall, he wrote this beautiful, lengthy poem over 800 years ago. The Shoshinge compresses his experiences and insights of practicing Pure Land Buddhism into one pleasantly long poem. He certainly is still with us today. In it, we realize the principles that guide our lives. Shinran wants us to know that life is more than just a simple journey from cradle to grave. We are part of a long, unbroken thread of life, which extends deep, deep into the past, and we are responsible to extend that thread to the future. The incense offering occurs as we start the Shoshinge, so you may come up to our Oshoko incense altar here and just offer in gratitude to all of the compassion and wisdom that surrounds us all every moment. And you're encouraged to offer incense at your altar at home if you have one. You can offer incense or food or water or a flower, anything. It's a cleansing of the mind and body before receiving the Dharma. Burning incense symbolizes transcending selfishness to becoming one with all. And we have two other altars here in our Hondo. To the south is our Kannon altar for prayers of compassion. Kannon hears the cries of the world. So if you or a loved one need a little more compassion, or if somebody has passed on, you're welcome to light a candle there and write their name on the paper right next to it. Right here on our north wall is the Medicine Buddha altar. And you may offer incense and ask for extra healing energy for you or a loved one. And the Medicine Buddha is also listening. Here on our grand altar is Amida Buddha, offering boundless wisdom and compassion. Please offer incense with an open heart and deep gratitude for all of your teachers. Thank you. Shoshinge. Kimyo muryo junyorai. Namu fukashigi ko hozo bosai niji. Zai seiji zai obusho. Token shobu jodo in. Kokudo ningen shizen maku. Konru mujo shushogan. Chojo keu daiguze. Gokoshi yui shi shoju. Jusemyo shomonji po. Fuho muryo muhenko. Muge mutai koen no. Shoujo kangi chie ko. Fudan nanshi mushoko. Chonichi ga ko shojin sei. Isai gunjo mukosho. Hongam yogo shoujo go. Shishin shingyo ganni in. Joto gakusho dai nehan. Hishi metndo ganjoju. Nyorai shoi koshu sei. Yui sei mida hongon kai. Gojoku akuji gunjo kai. Oshin nyorai nyojitgon. Noho ichinen kiai shin. Fudan bon no tokune han. Bonsho gyaku hosai e nyu. Nyoshu shinu kai chimi. Seishu shinko joshogo. Ino sui ha mumyo an. Tonnai shinzo shi unmu. Jofu shinji shinjin ten. Inyo ni kofu unmu. Unmu shige myomu an. Gyakushin kenkyo daikyo ki. Soku o chose go akushu. Isai zen maku bon bunin. Monshin nyorai guzegan. Butgon kodai shoge sha. Seini myo fundarike. Midabu hongan nembu. Jaken kyo manakushu jo. Shingyo juji jinni nan. Nanchu shina mukashi. Indo saiten shironge. Chukaji chi iki shikoso. Kendai shoko se shoi. Nyo nyorai honze oki. Shaka nyorai yoga sen. Ishu gomyo nanten jiku. Ruju daiji shuto se. Shitno zai ha umuken. Sensei daijo mujo ho. Shokangi ji shoan raku. Kenji nangyo rokuroku. Shingyo igyo shidoraku. Okunen midabu hongan. Jinen soku jin yu hitenjo. Yui no josho nyorai go. Oho dai hi guze on. Tenjin bosa zoron se. Kimyo muge konyorai. Eishu tada kenshinji. Kosen ocho dai segan. Koyu hongan rikie ko. Ido gunjo shoishin. Kinyu kudoku dai hokai. Hiten yaku nyu dai eishu shu. 特使蓮華造成会即昇進用昇進有望の人間人図入所自由自王下本自動乱両天使上皇乱所菩薩来三蔵如是十条教本書専業気楽法天神菩薩論中下報道因果見世願方言栄光有他力少女死因唯心人惑前本部新人法承知生じ即涅槃意志無量光明道小雨修上回復系同社継承道南省唯名浄土活入万全自力変言宗円満直後感染症三風三神慶音言増魔法明道非因一生増惑地偶税四安妙開小妙開全道独妙無所異公愛上三陽逆悪公明明語見因縁開入本願大智慧行者小樹金剛心狂気一年総合用意大と逆三人即小法小四上楽見心公開一大教延期安養官二祭先祖終身反戦人法慶二道小弁流極重悪人唯勝負我薬剤非正集中煩悩証言随不見大非無見上昇が本次元空妙仏教連民全幕本部人新宗教書後編集戦弱本願具悪性現来生じ臨連芸慶地義上位昇し即入弱上無意楽非知信心に納入苦境大自修士と上際無変極辱悪同族自修具道心唯過信しこそせナムアミダアブナムアミダアブナムアミダアブナムアミダブナムアミダアブナムミダジョブのこの方は今に自己をへたまえりほしのこうりえぬきわもな悪 万日苦毒
平等聖祭道菩提心往生は安楽ナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブ Well, we would like to invite the children to go to Dharma school with Reverend Shelley. We will sing them out with Let the Buddha Walk with You. Let the Buddha walk with you. Let the Buddha walk with you. Let the Buddha walk, just walk. Let the Buddha walk with you. Let the Buddha walk with you. Let the Buddha walk with you. Let the Buddha walk, just walk. Let the Buddha walk with you. Let the Buddha walk with you. Very nice.
Good morning. Today's reading is from the Jizo Bodhisattva Sutra, Jizo the Goat and the Priest. Once upon a time, a long time ago, there was a very famous Brahmin, a priest of an ancient religion. He decided it was the right day to perform the ritual sacrificing of a goat. In his ignorance, he thought this was an offering that would make an important god happy. He found a good goat for the sacrifice and ordered his servants to take the goat to the holy river and wash him and decorate him with flower garlands. Then they washed themselves too as part of the ritual practice. Down at the riverbank, the Bodhisattva Jizo was watching over some children who were swimming in the water. Jizo saw the goat and the washing and became concerned for its life. Through his bodhisattva powers, he gave the goat insight. It says to make the sound of a lightning bolt, but I don't know what a lightning bolt sounds like. Okay. The goat suddenly understood that today he would definitely be killed. But more than that, Jizo gave him awareness of his past lives, births and deaths and rebirths. The goat realized that bad things he'd done in the past had led to this point. We call that karma. So he laughed, an uproarious goat laugh, as goats do. Bah ha 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 ha, bah ha ha ha. I hope that's how goats laugh. In the middle of his laughing, he realized another truth, that the priest, by sacrificing him, would suffer the same terrible results because of his ignorance. He would be reborn as a goat and would likely be killed by sacrifice. The goat began to cry as loudly as he'd just been laughing. Wah! Wah! I don't know how goats laugh or cry. The servants who were washing in the holy river heard the laughing and then the crying. They were amazed and confused. So they asked the goat, "Why did you loudly laugh and then just as loudly cry? What is the reason for this?" He replied, "I will tell you the reason, but bring me to your master before I do." Since they were very curious, they immediately took the goat to the priest. They explained all that had happened. Then the priest became very curious. With respect, he asked the goat, "Mr. Goat, why did you laugh so loudly and then just as loudly cry?" The goat, remembering his past lives, said, "A long time ago, I too was a priest like you, was well educated in the sacred religious rites. I thought that sacrificing a goat was a necessary offering to a god, that it would benefit others and myself in future rebirths. But from the gift of Jizo Bodhisattva, the true result of my actions is clear to me now. In my next 499 lives, I had all manner of unfortunate deaths." Goat continued, "When they were washing me in the river for sacrifice, I realized that today I will definitely lose my head for the 500th time, and will finally be free of all the results of my unwholesome deeds of so long ago. The joy of this made me laugh uncontrollably. Then I thought you, priest, you about to repeat the same unwholesome action and would be doomed to the same result of having your head chopped off in your next 500 lives. So out of compassion, my laughter turned to tears. Shocked by a talking goat, the priest realized Goat was right. It was not good to kill an animal for no purpose. So he said, 'Well, Mr. Goat, I will not kill you for the ritual.' Goat replied, 'Reverend priest, you are truly a wise man. Please share this dharma with all your friends.' And the two lived happily ever after. All along, Jizo Bodhisattva had watched and listened. He smiled broadly and moved on to find another traveler or child or animal to help." We will now have a few minutes of meditation accompanied by music.
big team effort here. Well, welcome again, all our friends. Just happy to see you all this morning. A special welcome, as always, to visitors. I know it does take real courage to come and visit a place you haven't been before, so you're very welcome. Good job. Come talk to us afterwards and have an individual conversation. That would be good. The temple has been enjoying the fullness of temple life. We have had wonderful weddings and some funerals. Some funerals since Libby last talked. And as you might have noticed on your way in, the pet blessing will be this afternoon. So, I'm allergic to rabbit brush, which comes out in the fall. So I take a little peppermint to stave off the dry cough. I was saying about pet blessing, it will be from 2 till 4 today, so please bring any animals who live with you to be blessed. And also next week we have Moon Rabbit Cafe, so mark that on your mental calendars while we're calendaring. I usually avoid announcements before the Dharma talk, having gone to seminars about how to operate a church or temple. There's 2 schools of opinion. But I think it's better to have announcements last. So I'll try to do that next time. Okay. All creatures are precious. As you might know, there are 2 other sentient beings who live at the temple. We don't hear from them very often, though they are Stanley and Josie. We do hear from Stanley from time to time because he howls a greeting on if you meet him on the front lawn. If you've met him, you know, because from a long way away, he calls out to all present to sanctify the meeting. They're beagles, and they live mostly on the 3rd floor, which is up that way, where the priest quarters are. They're a wonderful part of our life, and I'm sure they care for us just as much as we care for them. So, today's Dharma talk is about all creatures are precious. Jizo Bodhisattva, we heard in the reading, is a protector of animals. So that's the connection there. And the sutra is about 110 pages long, so we just took out this one bit for the reading. So I noticed as I was working on the outline for this talk earlier in the week, Josie the beagle was sort of hanging around more than normal. And I've seen this pattern before with the beagles, though with Stanley, but still. I think they know that I'm writing about animals, and so they connect. And what better way to tell you about how Buddhism views other sentient beings but to give Josie a chance to share some thoughts. So this is a tradition in our temple. Reverend Alicia started allowing the animals in the temple to share their thoughts. So I'm not making it up. It's real. It's traditional. Josie did agree as well. So the rest of the talk will be from her. Okay. Hello, people. I am Josie. I am a 2-year-old beagle, and I am almost all grown up. I know you all from your scents in the Hondo. After Sunday service, Monday morning chanting is my favorite. It is the first time after the Sunday service that I get to go in the Hondo. That is Mama's word for what Stanley and I call the big room. While Mama and Papa are chanting, we check every chair and see if old friends or new ones have sat in them. Stanley looks for any snacks that may have been dropped on the floor. I don't much care for treats. I just want to play, so I bite his legs as he sniffs around. Stanley told me that pet blessing is this afternoon. Please bring your animals, friends, for the blessing anytime between 2 and 4. I like having lots of animal friends come to the temple, even if I'm afraid of them sometimes. I like living at the temple. I learned so much about Buddhism. I don't think Papa knows, but sometimes Stanley reads to me from the Buddhism books Papa keeps by his bedside. Buddhism is special in the way it values all creatures, big ones and small ones. Since I am one of the smaller ones, Papa thought I could share some thoughts with you today. Stanley and I are always treated as precious, joyful companions. My favorite bodhisattva is Jizo, the cute little guy here. I don't know if you can see that. These are Jizo statues that different people offered to the temple. When I was little, I chewed on him a little bit, but Mama told me bad dog, so I stopped. He is a bodhisattva, an enlightened being, an enlightenment being, a very special being. Deep love and compassion are important teachings of Mahayana Buddhism and the way of the bodhisattva. A bodhisattva is dedicated to helping others. They aren't helping others just because they are inspired and want to do it for themselves. A bodhisattva has realized non-self. They help others for the sake of others alone. This is the way dogs feel about their family. We are loyal and care about them the most, above ourselves. Bodhisattvas see that most beings are completely confused about the source of happiness and the source of suffering. So they just have to help. Out of love and compassion, the bodhisattvas help. When we try to make ourselves happy, sentient beings act out of self-interest and act in unwholesome ways, selfish ways. In samsara and its 6 realms, sentient beings seem to act like doing something good will destroy them. Strangely, sharing and caring for others seems to be risky for the selfish interest. A bodhisattva sees this mistake. All the beings trying to be happy in vain by being selfish. But that is not the way the bodhisattva feels a duty to help. I understand duty. When I see something in the dark, I point and I give a guard bark. I can't not do that. It is my duty. The Bodhisattva Jizo feels the same duty to help sentient beings who struggle. As I understand it, being can be reborn into 6 realms of existence. They are the realms of the gods, titans, humans, animals, hungry ghosts, and hell. There are 2 ways to understand these realms, a literal level and a psychological or spiritual level. For uneducated people, the fear of hell is a kind of helpful control, like a pinch collar. It promotes good behavior. For more insightful people, the meaning of hell, and indeed all these realms, is largely psychological or spiritual. It is good to ask, where does your spirit dwell? Which one of these realms? Again, you can view the realms as you like. Understanding them gives us a vocabulary to describe the experience of life. In a simple example, when we are very cruel, we are reborn in the hell realm. Some of us have been there. Everything hurts. It's all suffering, driven by uncontrollable forces. When the bad karma is worked off, nothing is permanent, we are reborn into another realm. Whether literal worlds we are reborn into after this life, or as subtle moment-to-moment spiritual experiences, We have all experienced all 6 realms many times. Our mind state is constantly changing between one realm and another, based on causes and conditions, external and internal. Jizo Bodhisattva has dedicated his practice to rescuing, helping animals, ghosts, and hell beings escape their torments. Jizo Bodhisattva's name in Sanskrit is Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva, which means earth store Bodhisattva. He is dedicated to helping beings that have fallen into lower realms, comforting them while they are there, or showing them the way out. Jizo is known as a protector of women, children, childbirth, small animals. She underlined that. Insects, travelers, and lost causes. I like Jizo because she is a girl like me, named Brahmin Girl. Long ago, before she became a bodhisattva, she lost her mother. And in meditation, she saw that her mother was reborn in hell. She went to the Buddha teacher of her time and asked how to help her mother. She followed difficult practices for many years and was able to descend into hell and rescue her mother. But when she was there, she was stricken by the plight of all the other hell beings. So she made a bodhisattva vow and became a protector of all beings who struggle. I really like these sweet little Jizos. I think she's talking about these. And not just to chew on. Papa says he sees them all over Japan, at temples and along the road in simple shrines. Jizo is offered by parents who have lost a child and seek his help to secure a better birth for the lost little ones. These parents seek release from the hellish mind state of a parent who has lost a child. Whether by choice or by circumstance, parents feel and acknowledge this loss. Asking Jizo for help releases a measure of their pain. Actually, Jizo can help us see that no one is actually holding us or forcing us to stay in hell. He shows we are there by a kind of choosing, by our own habit energy. We are both the jailer and the liberator. We don't believe it, but we can walk out whenever we please. We have long been trapped there in ignorance, regret, and pain. Jizo is a being of great compassion and protection. He appears in any form necessary, male or female, to help others, and represents great fearlessness, great love, and great optimism. Jizo vowed that as long as one being was left in the lower realms, he would not attain Buddhahood. Instead, he would stay here, working for their release, until no one suffered in the lower realms. The Buddha praised Jizo for this great vow. His vow is profound and wonderful, and it even helps dogs. Sometimes beings are very thoughtless, and they just do whatever they want without caring for others. This can result in birth in the animal realm. I can speak from experience. In the animal realm, we are driven by basic impulses, mostly hunger and sleep. We act without much thought. We are driven by urges. We are exploited by the strong ones and have little recourse. That is what the animal realm is like. We don't have much self-awareness. My spiritual life is limited, but it is not forever. I'm lucky to live in a very spiritual place, this temple. When my unfortunate karma is worked off, I will be born into another realm, and so the cycle goes on. One sutra that Stanley read to me says, all sentient beings born into the 6 realms seek happiness and avoid suffering. All sentient beings have Buddha nature. What is Buddha nature? This is a classic Buddhist question, worth a lifetime of study, or at least a whole Dharma talk from Papa sometime. What is Buddha nature? Tathagatagarbha, or Buddha Dhatu, luminous mind. Buddha nature is the deep and essential quality inside every sentient being. It is our true connection to all that is, was, or will be. Buddha nature is the ultimate, pure, ungraspable, inconceivable, true, and deathless essence of the Buddha's reality, the very core of the sublime nature of the universe. It is present in all beings. I heard that once a Buddhist student asked his sensei a silly question. Does a dog have Buddha nature? The master said, the road in front of every house leads to Beijing. What the master means is that all sentient beings do have Buddha nature. Even beagles have Buddha nature. For it to do any good, we need to wake up to this quality. The road that leads to Beijing may run in front of every house, but unless we actually travel on it, the wonders of the capital can only be imagined. This path to enlightenment exists for all of us, four-leggers and two-leggers included. I like that part of Buddhism. Because of this, Buddhists cherish and support all living beings, not just humans. We practice loving kindness toward every sentient being. Think of them as fellow travelers on the path. When we see that every sentient being is just like us, we find great compassion for them. They are just making their way through existence, hopefully moving toward the Dharma, moving toward release from the ocean of births and deaths. In the infinite expanse of time, any little creature might have been your mother, your brother, or your teacher. How can we harm her? We are all connected in a great ocean of compassion. We all receive the great gifts of Amida Buddha and experience the protection of Jizo Bodhisattva. Jizo shows us we have a duty and responsibility to all beings. All deserve respect, kindness, consideration. Out of compassion, we serve, helping all beings escape the suffering of samsara and reach enlightenment, because they all have Buddha nature. Jizo vowed to save all beings from suffering and disasters, empowering the weak or those in danger. At this point, we have all experienced birth in all 6 realms, from Deva, Titan, human, animal, Preta, and hell, all experienced before. And based on our karma, our action, rebirth follows. The bodhisattvas are distributed beings. They exist everywhere within and without. They can manifest in any form that is needed. They act through us and beyond us. They have vowed to serve others. From great compassion, they defer their bliss until everyone can share in it. I like Jizo because he awakens my courage, compassion, and benevolence in ordinary life. This little guy has a great mission in life. It inspires even little me, Josie the Beagle. Every day of life is abundant with joy and sorrow. Jizo comes to us with this cute little smile, offering us inspiration and comfort. Jizo helps me see clearly and let go of bad habits, a kind of gentle helper as we animals travel our path. He reminds us we too have Buddha nature. we too are precious. All creatures are precious. That is what Josie asked me to tell you today. And let's share together Josie's great wish for all sentient beings. Just repeat after me. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free from harm. May all beings receive boundless compassion. And may peace and harmony fill their hearts. Thank you. And thanks to Josie for inspiring. We usually sing our Reno Buddhist Center theme song at this point. It's on page 49 of the service book. If you would stand, that would be helpful. I will not, because I risk falling from my perch. Masako, if you please. Away, away, come away with me, where the grass grows wild, where the winds blow free. Away, away, come away with me, and I'll build you a home in the meadow. Come, come, there's a wondrous land for the hopeful heart and the willing hand. Come, come, there's a wondrous land where I'll build you a home in the meadow. The stars, oh how bright and far, on a world of pure and eternal law. The stars, oh how bright they'll shine, on that home we will build in the meadow. Come, come, there's a wondrous land for the hopeful heart and the willing hand. Come, come, there's a wondrous land where I'll build you a home in the meadow. Even though I made the announcements at the beginning of the service, I will also make announcements at the end. This way I will habituate myself to making announcements at the end. Okay. Most important, we always have to mention that there are tea and treats downstairs. There's a special treat, leftover wedding cake. Does that sound exciting? Maybe I shouldn't have said it was leftover. A brand new wedding cake.
Celebrating birthday.
And we will be celebrating birthdays for people in the months included. So that's downstairs. We go through this door and circle down the stairs to get there from here. We will have a newcomers circle. So if you're new or if you enjoy discussing and asking questions about Buddhism, we will circle some chairs here in the Hondo after people get a piece of cake and a cup of tea downstairs. That will be a few moments after we get tea and cake. George Killeran, he's raising his hand. He will be up here, so if you come back up, he'll be there. There are other announcements I will not read for you because I'm sure you're capable of reading because you made it here for the service, but check them out. The one I do have to mention is we are going to have our last Moon Rabbit Cafe of the year. And it will be Oktoberfest Feast. I'm trying to figure out how to say that in a festive way. Oktoberfest Feast. And that's not it. Oktoberfest Feast. Maybe that's better. I don't know. It will be on October 23rd from 4 to 6. That's next Saturday. Everyone's invited to join us. Please bring a friend along. Use Facebook to tell everybody about it, because right now we're getting a little bit less response than we're used to. That will be quite wonderful. Oddly enough, the people from Great Basin Brewery have donated some materials for us, so it might be a real Oktoberfest, if you know what I mean. Okay, please come to that. Thank you all so much for coming to the temple, and there's wedding cake downstairs. Namandabs, namandabs, namandabs.